children back with their parents. Trump has made his hardline immigration policy a central part of his presidency. His administration adopted the family separation policy as part of an effort to discourage undocumented immigration, but Trump bowed to intense political pressure and abandoned the policy on June 20th. A lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union said at a hearing that immigrant parents had been told by immigration officials that they had to pay for their travel. One parent was initially asked to pay $1,900 to be reunited with a child, according to the ACLU court papers. Trump administration lawyer Sarah Fabian called the judge's order on paying for reunifications a huge ask on Health and Human Services. Fabian said those decisions were handled at the field level, adding that HHS had limited resources. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
The American robin heralds the beginning of spring in temperate climates across North America. Its red breast makes it easily identifiable as the most disturbingly efficient murderer in the animal kingdom. Here, we see a robin rip a worm out of the ground with no moral hesitation whatsoever. This atrocity is but one in a series of cold-blooded murders this bird will commit in a single day. Although feces-fueled worms are themselves one of the most disgusting of all animals, the robin's cruelty remains indefensible. Some apologists might argue that robins need to eat worms to survive, but worms are capable of regeneration. So robins could satiate themselves on fractions of individual worms and leave the rest. But it does not. Unequivocal evidence of the robin's bloodlust.
This is the Onion News Network. Free Talk Live.
Hey, it is Free Talk Live, and you are invited to join us here. The toll-free number, if you want to take control of the airwaves, is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, and our Skype username is lrn.fm. You do need to send a contact request if you've never been on Skype with us before, but then we'll approve it. You'll be good to go. Or you can call on our Discord on-air call-in line room, which is the best way to call the show. You'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio here with us, and in that studio with you, it's me, Ian.
And Vin Armani.
And Mark.
And so welcome, Vin, to the Saturday edition of Free Talk Live.
Thank you for having me.
You had been joining us on Tuesday nights until this week, or I mean, once a month on a Tuesday,
yes,
until this week when apparently your wife broke the key off in the ignition of your car?
That is correct.
Do you want to tell that story on the air? Because I haven't asked you off the air about it.
It's not a huge thing. It's like the key has a shell, and in that shell is where you do the lock and unlock and all of that. And I think
like plastic shell?
She was in my car. She had taken my car, and she was with my daughter. And I think I had dropped it in the gym, perhaps earlier in the day.
Okay.
And so it just somehow decided it was going to come out from the shell. And so I get in the ignition with the car off, and so I get a frantic call. And my wife is
the metal didn't break. The plastic kind of broke off. The
plastic kind of
metal?
broke off, and it was pretty much flush with the thing. And so she's holding the plastic in her hand, which, by the way, has a special chip in it that the car will not start without that right next to it. So she's calling me frantic, and she's Russian, and her English gets very bad when she's frantic. And so we're trying to have she's like, I'll send you pictures. And so, yeah, it was by the time I got the text from you saying, like, oh, dude, are you dissing us? Like, we're on the air right now. I had just gotten home. It had been a nightmare. So, yeah, so that's what happened.
Wow. So where was she? Was she downtown or at the house when this?
No, she was out.
Okay.
She was out.
Okay.
So and I was at my office. So it was.
It's pretty inconvenient.
Well, at least it's the summertime and you're not freezing cold while you're waiting for AAA or something like that.
Right. In New Hampshire, not only do you need a fire extinguisher in the car, and everybody should have one,
right,
but you need a blanket too.
Wait, you should have a fire extinguisher in the car?
Yes, you should.
In New Hampshire or just anywhere?
No. One day when you're an adult, you can go ahead and get one, okay?
No, this is news to me. Is it just because of New Hampshire, or is it anybody with a car?
Cars catch fire.
Yeah. Huh. I've never knowingly been in a car with a fire extinguisher.
Me either.
You've been in a car with a fire extinguisher often.
Yours,
yes.
you mean? Okay.
Every one of mine.
All right. I do have the cold weather package, though.
That's good.
Yeah. Which is like, a bunch of clothes and
I'm proud of you, and I would have
things.
never expected it.
So, D.C., story coming out of Gallup polling where 47%, a record low number of people in the United States, describe themselves as extremely proud to be Americans. And this actually came out last week with the Independence Day, which, of course, as we always point out here on Free Talk Live, everybody calls the 4th of July. Nobody calls it Independence Day anymore. And sure enough, in the first paragraph here, it says the 4th of July marks a low point in U.S. patriotism for the first time in Gallup's 18-year history of asking U.S. adults how proud they are to be Americans. Fewer than a majority are now saying they are, quote, extremely proud. Currently, 47% describe themselves this way, down from 51% in 2017. That's a big drop for 1 year, and well below the peak of as many as 70% of Americans back in 2003.
2003, 70. Well, that was post 9/11 as well.
Yeah, 9/11. I remember having an American flag stuck in my window of my car, flapping around. So I mean, that was the time when the nation pulled together.
They got the graph here that shows it. It does ramp up. Actually, it was down at around looks like 55% when they started in 2001. When they first asked the question, it then jumps up to 65, 69% shortly after 2002. So, yeah, right after basically a few months after the 9/11 attacks when they did the poll. And it slightly dips down after 2004 and continues down to around 57%, where it plateaus for about a decade, floating at about 57, 58, 57%, and then starts going down again in the year about 2013. And it's been consistently going down since 2013.
I'm going to say that 2004 was because of the Iraq War, that the anti-war...
Mission accomplished?
That the people who did not think that was a good idea, clearly... this is actually a very interesting... I'm surprised it's as high as it is, but it's a very interesting poll, just to sort of...
Yeah, I'd never heard this one before.
Yeah.
We've reported on a bunch of different polls. I don't recall ever talking about this one. The latest results are based on a June 1st through 13th poll. And after the 9/11 terror attacks caused the public to rally around the nation and its leaders, the percentage expressing extreme pride in the country increased up to as much as 70% by 2005, about the time George W. Bush was set to begin his second term in office and the U.S. was going to onto its second year of military involvement in Iraq. The percentage extremely proud the percentage of extremely proud to be Americans fell to 61%. It held in the high 50% range. And then goes down. So while the 47% who are extremely proud to be Americans is a new low, the vast majority of Americans do express some level of pride, including 25% who say they are, quote, very proud, and 16% who are moderately proud. That leaves only 1 in 10 who are, quote, only a little, 7%, or not at all proud at 3%. So just 10% of Americans in the bottom two choices there.
So if you didn't feel anything at all, would you say not at all proud? I mean, how would you – because, I mean –
I would guess that's what you would say, yeah, because you would either feel a little proud or a moderate amount of pride or a lot of pride.
And what does proud even mean?
I guess in this circumstance, you're delighted to be an American and you wouldn't want to be something else, I guess.
Didn't you describe it previously, Mark, as like when you would hear the national anthem or look at bald eagles, you'd have like a swelling in your heart?
Yeah, there's that, right? Like the FAA teams fly over the football game, that kind of thing.
Isn't that pride? Wouldn't that be?
I would think it would be, yeah.
Where you feel like you're connected to this thing that is greater than you, the nation state.
And it feels, you think of all the people who have sacrificed so much to bring it about. I can see a sort of connection to something greater.
A pointless sacrifice.
And all the people who have been sacrificed to bring it about.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too.
And they continue to be.
Yes.
So, when one thing's about the United States, I love to look at Canada as the juxtaposition. If the United States had not rebelled against Great Britain, what would things have been like? Oh, I know. They'd have been like Canada. Because
do they feel proud to be a British colony or whatever you call Canada?
I think Canadians want very much to not be Americans. They want to not
they're
be
Americans because they're part of North America.
The way you define an American.
You mean United States Americans?
Yes, those. Right. They want very much to not be that, but I don't know what they feel as far as national pride goes. What I think the sort of mature thing to think is, well, this is a service organization that provides me protection services against
who?
Someone. Yeah, that's what it is.
No,
the government is a service organization.
Well, that's an interesting way of describing a criminal enterprise. I mean, this is an organization that purports to provide you with services. You don't have to consent to those services. If you don't like the services, well, sorry, you don't get a refund or you don't get an option to, not contribute. Like if the Lions Club or some other service organization were to actually call up and offer to, hey, here's what we've done this year in Keene. We've, had fundraisers for kids who've got burns and, whatever. Then they would be giving a choice to support their service that they're providing. That's what a real service organization does. The government's a criminal enterprise that has managed to convince people that it's something else.
It certainly has. Yeah. It's very successful at that. And it has done that for a very long time.
Yes.
Legionnaires under the Roman Empire were pretty proud of their particular legion. And so nationalism and national pride or some kind of pride has been around for a long time. How about a monopoly service organization? Does that make you feel a little better if you throw that in? Because, we're providing you service, and you're going to pay for it.
So what I want to know from you is,
sing that anthem.
Are you proud? How do you? What's your level of pride right now? How do you feel? Is your heart swelling with that emotion that Mark has described in the past, feeling about the United States? And is your pride about the government? Or is your pride about something else, if you have it?
And what is
855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open your Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. blinkprotect.com/FTL to save 15%. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, take control of the airwaves, and if you want, share your level of national pride. According to the Gallup surveying organization, they've asked Americans for close to 2 decades about how proud they are to be an American, and there's now a record low of 47% of Americans who describe themselves as extremely proud to be Americans, which is, again, down from a peak of around 70% in 2003. It's Ian, Vin, and Mark in the studio here with you tonight. We'll continue. If you want to jump on the phones, share your thoughts. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Are you proud to be an American, and what does that mean? Does that mean you're proud of the government? Or does that mean you're proud of something else about being an American? So, again, 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Also, Skype username here is LRN.FM. Plus, there's our Discord on-air call-in line room over at discord.lrn.fm.
I remember a survey from a few years ago where Congress came in just below Nickelback and just above cockroaches. So I can't imagine too many people
they're proud of their government.
Proud of their government. They may be, willing to defend the United States constitutional form of a republic versus a parliamentary republic or something like that would be, possible. I prefer a parliamentary myself, just everything I've seen and read, but I could be wrong on that. I'm willing to look at other information.
So we're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts here. Also, want to make sure you know about the Blink home security system, which is about the easiest home security system you could possibly install because the cameras are wireless. You buy the system, which is very affordable, and you save 15% by using this URL, blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL. You'll get the system, you'll unbox it, you'll put the batteries in, which are included, and it's just standard, AA batteries. Not hard to get a hold of more of them if you need them. But so far, I have yet to actually have to replace these things, Mark. We've had Blink on for, 9 months now or something? It seems like it's been a while.
Just close to a year.
Yeah, so still haven't replaced the batteries, which is good. But you put up the wireless cameras wherever you want them. You plug in the wired hub. So that's the wire. There's only one wire, and that is the one that plugs the hub into the, AC power. And then that's it. You just set it up via your Wi-Fi enabled device like a tablet or a smartphone, configure the cameras to operate when you want them to operate, and then when something happens in front of them, it'll send you a clip that you can watch on your device wherever you happen to be in the world, presuming you have internet access on your phone to be able to see the clip. Anyway, go to blinkprotect.com/FTL and get yours and save 15%. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Let's go to your calls and thoughts here. We're going to start with Michael in Virginia, listening to WNIS. Hello, Michael.
Hello, and greetings from Virginia Beach.
You're on the air.
Pride, according to the Bible, comes before a fall.
I've heard that.
That's I like that.
And Gallup had a big fall in 1980 when they didn't predict the landslide win by Ronald Reagan because they ignored the huge segment of our population that is mind-controlled by the religious right. When their mind-controlled leaders told them to go vote for Ronald Reagan, it upset all the polls.
Well, I mean, why just describe the right as mind-controlled? I mean, Mark, you've been holding on to a story for a couple weeks now about Democrats being the only group in America who actually still believes in the mainstream media. So
maybe the mainstream media is right.
You want to talk about mind control? I mean, that's also a form of mind control, right? They call it programming.
They do call it programming.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the religious right because of the upset that took place in 1980 that gives us what we have today, a president of the United States who's been married 3 times, and 2 out of 3 of his so-called proud to be an American, 2 out of 3 of them have been foreign-born wives.
How did the election of Ronald Reagan give you Donald Trump?
And I would think that the religious right would be against somebody who's been married 3 times.
You'd think, yeah.
Well, perhaps you haven't heard, but Franklin Graham did exactly what Jerry Falwell did in 1980. In 2016, he went to 50 state capitals and rallied the troops to vote for man who is a plant in this country, the man who is controlled by Comrade Melania to do exactly what she wants him to do.
I love the Democrat conspiracy theories. You know, we just don't hear them often enough, and I have to thank you, Michael, for the call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. The conspiracy.
If Melania's a plant, she should try harder. Right? Like, don't wear a jacket that says, I don't care. I don't care. I mean...
She has a jacket that says, I don't care?
She had a jacket that said, I don't care, and she went someplace where some people were having a hard time for something, and I'm not sure what. The news cycle, it's just, it's 3.5 hours now. I have no idea what happened 3.5 hours ago.
I mean, and that's the long con. If Melania's a sleeper agent, man, she went through all that with the nude posing and all of wow.
With living with Donald Trump for as long as she did. The hopes that he would end up the president?
Yeah.
She's the real power behind the throne, Ian. Melania.
Let's go to Matthew. He's calling from Louisiana, watching us online at freetalklive.com through our YouTube stream. Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, wait till you hear the latest one, is that supposedly in 1986, Donald Trump was converted to a Soviet agent. And he's actually a sleeper.
How did he get converted?
I have no idea.
No, wait a minute. When you say sleeper,
you just hear these things, they flash across the sky, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, there is such a thing as Trump derangement syndrome. I understand there were some people who were upset about, Obama's presidency, and there were some who went beyond the policy realm. But this stuff is wow. At any rate, national pride. Yes, I do have some pride in the United States.
In the United States. So when you say that, do you mean the U.S. government?
Describe it to me. Like, just this national pride that you have. Describe what it means to you.
It means a certain degree of pride in the country as a whole.
And what is a country?
Not necessarily with the government. There are large aspects of the government I am displeased with. I'm even more displeased with our alleged news media, which I believe probably exerts far too much control over this said government. If you look at the people going back and forth between news media and government, you're like, it's like they got the same degree in college.
Who are the people going back and forth between the media and government? I'm not even familiar with whom you might be
Chris Matthews, for one. He was a speechwriter for some Democrat senator, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, who was actually a pretty reasonable Democrat. Then there was, the name escapes me, but Ben Rhodes, whose brother Phil Rhodes.
All right, hang on. 855-450 free. What is your, how do you feel about national pride? Are you feeling any? It's Free Talk Live.
Healthcare reform is confusing, but whether it's finding an affordable insurance plan, keeping your doctor, or being able to afford needed prescriptions, navigating the healthcare system has become a challenge. Control your own healthcare costs and choices with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is not insurance. It is an association of self-pay patients who unite with like-minded people to share the cost of each other's medical needs. Neighbor helping neighbor. Learn more now by going to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you can go this way? You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. It's the Saturday edition of the program. We're live here. We'll take your calls about anything you want to discuss. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username LRN.FM. Our Discord on-air call-in line room is also available to you at discord.lrn.fm. And Free Talk Live is brought to you by Liberty Stickers. If you want to reach people with the ideas of liberty, you can do it from the back of your car with libertystickers.com. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker or more than one, and you know people love to read them. So check out the vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages at libertystickers.com. Once again, that's libertystickers.com. As we continue here, we got Matthew on the line here with us in, I believe, Louisiana. Mark, you said you had another question for Matthew?
Yeah, so...
because he said he feels some pride in being an American.
And I think I feel similarly, but what I feel like I want to do is I want to learn more about this notion of national pride. And so I want you to help me here, Matthew, to examine this and tell me, when you say it's for the country, what do you mean? I mean, you say it's not for the politicians, and I think we're all clear the politicians hide behind the flag. They use patriotism to get what they want to some extent. They say, you don't love America or whatever it is.
Some do, some don't. I mean, politicians can be a mixed bag depending on the constituency that elects them. I don't know. I think there is a certain, and maybe it's a tribalist instinct. This is the same way that a Russian feels pride in Russia, or wants to feel pride in Russia. They want Russia to be great. A Japanese person would feel pride in the nation of Japan.
I don't think that happens much anymore. The ones that have got thoroughly trounced in World War II don't seem to have that national pride that they used to.
Well, okay,
they kind of
Germany doesn't have much of any.
Yeah.
This is the thing that is confusing to me here, is that people conflate terms together that aren't necessarily the same concept. So pride in the government is not the same thing as pride in a arbitrary land mass, right?
Or the people.
Or the people who make up that land, who are in that or inhabit that land mass.
Yeah.
So when you say you feel pride for the nation, are you referring to the government or are you referring to something else?
I'm referring more to the people per se. I do think that on a whole, the American people are not a bad group of people.
So are there bad groups of people?
Do you think they're different? Different than other groups of people?
There's vast differences. I mean, you want to talk differences just here in Louisiana between Creoles, Cajuns, and carpetbaggers.
Okay, I call them Yankees personally. Yeah, that's what I always called them in Florida.
But what about people elsewhere? I mean, so you're saying that within the United States, within America, within this landmass, there are different people.
So do you like the Creoles, the Cajuns, and the carpetbaggers, or is there just a couple of them?
My granddad was a carpetbagger.
Right. So,
and I hated that
He came from North Carolina, and before that, his grandfather escaped the English Protestants when they took over in the English Civil War. And before that, his granddad escaped the French Protestants when they took over in France.
Matthew, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. I want to get some other opinions on here about national pride, or what the poll here that started the show out. We started the show with the Gallup poll, asked the question about, are people... how proud are you to be an American? So they didn't say anything about national pride. But again, all this kind of gets mixed up together. What do you mean when you say you're proud to be an American?
So when I think of this, I like these people better than the rest of the people thing that he sort of outlined. Was, for one, I think about the people in Coos County, New Hampshire, which is one line from Quebec. And many of them French, French types, French lineage, and they're not French Canadians because they're not from Canada. They're French Americans, I guess. And so why is it that I should like the ones that are this side of that line, and more than I like the ones
It
that are
doesn't
that
make any
line.
sense.
Or
Let's-
the ones in New Mexico that are north of that parallel rather than the ones that are south.
Yeah, to me, I mean, people are people. I don't think there's any group of people in any arbitrary landmass. It's any
I dislike them all, frankly.
Or any worse. Let's go to John. He's in Delaware listening to WDOV in Dover. Hello, John.
Yeah, hey guys. I just wanted to say, touch on the topic of the moment. I guess it's about national pride. It's just about American pride in general.
Well, for you, the case of the poll, it was about pride in America. We're talking about national pride. We're mostly a U.S. show, although we have gotten phone calls from every continent in the world. So, I'll take your thoughts on any of those topics.
Well, I just wanted to say that as far as American pride goes, it doesn't have to be political pride. I personally am proud to be an American due to the land that I was born and raised on, and the land that my ancestors, they poured their sweat into, and the selflessness of my ancestors to come over here and risk everything on ships, not for their personal gain, but for the gain of their ancestors, such as me. And that's what I love about this country, and I love about this land, and I will defend this land to the death. And it's nothing political. It's just the fact that this is the place I was born and raised, and this is the place my ancestors came to make a better life for themselves, not just for them. Like I said, it wasn't personal, but for me as well. And I still believe, till this day, that America is unarguably the greatest country in the world.
Now, my question to you is, had your ancestors not come to this particular landmass and gone to another landmass and done the same thing, wouldn't you feel the exact same way about that particular landmass instead of this one? And if so, why then is America the greatest greatest country in the world in that case?
That's a very good question. Absolutely. That's a good way to put it. You guys are sharp tonight. You know what? I believe that if I was born in another nation, that my ancestors, sacrificed everything to go to gain and do better for themselves. I think anywhere, for some reason, it's a psychological thing. It's
tribal,
deeper than we even know it.
Because everybody's been put a lot of sweat into a lot of land everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like every country has had that sweat put into it.
There may be more sweat in the hotter
I don't know
countries.
if that's the case, but I can tell you, people throughout written history have sacrificed for all kinds of things. The Ostrogoths had to pick up and move, and I guess I'm probably related to some of them. They're broadly European, right?
I think they're very European.
Never know.
John, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to Eddie. He's in Virginia, listening to WNIS. Hello, Eddie.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. You're on the air.
Hey, I just, I had a statement I want to make, but after listening to the other fellas, something occurred to me is if you don't have national pride, if you're born and raised in a country that you don't like, you're basically setting yourself up to be invaded and taken over. Even the communist nations, they have great pride in their country. And who can be born in it's not a landmass, it's essentially a way you're brought up.
Is there any chance that you have been invaded?
From Greece, and
Before
they
you go
wanted
on,
to be American.
Is there any chance that you have been invaded by the socialists and that they have taken over your government and that you supported them? Okay,
they have. Right now,
just to be clear, I think that maybe I think that maybe the socialists already took over. And
I think you're right, man.
So,
and that's why the people put Trump in office, because he was the closest thing to try to gain back what we lost.
So you mean he was not as bad of a socialist as the other candidate?
Oh, absolutely. Hillary was
But he is totally a socialist,
totally
right? Like, Trump is totally a wealth redistribution, tax and spend socialist.
That wall isn't going to get paid by private funds, I'll tell you that.
Hey, if they started up a fund, I'd donate $5.
I'm sure. Let's go to Kickstarter. It's probably there.
And thank you for the call, Eddie. I appreciate hearing from you.
Yeah.
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. Don't forget, we need the Space Force to fight off Space ISIS.
You know what? You might get me in on that one.
All right, more coming up. You can share your thoughts with us. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Also, a little more on people's pride in America.
There is a Kickstarter for Trump's wall. $1,600 at this point. What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
With uncertain times in the United States, it's only prudent to consider storing precious metals in a safe place outside our borders. At Miles Franklin, we have done just that for you. Partnered with the most respected storage company in the industry, Miles Franklin is proud to offer the only fully insured private safe deposit box program in North America, held in Vancouver and Toronto. Send us your previously purchased precious metals or have one of our brokers help you purchase something new. Questions? Please call one of our experienced brokers at 866-485-4346. Solid foundational storage, partnered with the most respected name in security. Maintaining an A-plus Better Business Bureau rating and residing in Minnesota, the only state in America that regulates the precious metals industry, making doing business in precious metals with Miles Franklin the safest choice. Call us at 866-485-4346. Again, that's 866-485-4346. Miles Franklin Limited, a name you can trust.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want, though right now we've been talking about pride. Pride to be an American, pride in being an American, the Gallup polling organization coming out with numbers where a record low 47% of Americans describe themselves as extremely proud. This is down from 70% as a record high back in 2003. They started asking the question about pride in 2001. Choices included extremely proud, very proud, moderately proud, only a little proud, or not at all proud. And just a quick recap here for you. According to the story, 25% say they're very proud. So again, 47% saying extremely proud, 25% very proud, 16% moderately proud, and then 7% say only a little, and 3% say not at all. We're going to continue with your calls and thoughts. It's Ian here with you.
And Vin.
And Mark.
And don't forget, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. We've got a Discord on air. Not on air. Well, we've got an on air line on Discord, but we have a chat room service. It's a server with different rooms in which you can talk about different subjects, everything from suggesting show prep for Free Talk Live to discussions about cryptocurrency and more. And then, of course, there's the Free Talk Live on-air chat channels where you can talk with other listeners during the show in text form. And then some people actually join the voice channels after we're off the air, and they talk there even more. So you can interact with other listeners of the show and some of the hosts at discord.lrn.fm. There are apps for just about every operating system and phone out there, but also there's a web version if you don't much care for apps, so you can try it either way. Discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to your calls and thoughts here, starting with Brian in Indianapolis, listening to WIBC. Hello, Brian.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. You're on the air.
So my pride in the country is disappearing pretty much every day, because I think that us as Americans have become sheeple to the government and what they can do for us and everything, and so the American spirit is gone.
So when you talk about pride in the country, you're talking about your fellow people, not the government or something.
Both.
Both. Okay.
People and the government.
Was there a time when you felt the government was somehow not an organization of criminal thugs?
No. Well, I was brainwashed when I was young, I guess.
Sure.
I went into the military and thought, I'm doing something good for them. And then I seen what we actually do for other countries and how we tear up other countries and then leave them. I honestly, I would defend this country if somebody came and attacked us. But other than that,
the rose-colored glasses have been taken off. You no longer are of the mythology that America might just be the free country in the world, because it's clearly not, right? Like, it's not free here.
No. I've been following the case, and I know you probably have been too, of some First Amendment auditors down in Texas at Leon Valley. I don't know if you've heard that.
Tell me about it. I'm not sure.
What's going on with the sheriff down there? Well, so there's a bunch of First Amendment auditors down there. They went to a sheriff station, to film in public. And supposedly the sheriff, they don't like being filmed, God forbid they're doing, they're afraid they're doing something wrong and get caught. Who knows why they're so afraid of cameras. But
got something to hide, apparently.
There was a big, something to hide, So they had arrested a couple of them and then illegally arrested them for filming. So they got out, and then they called for a whole group of people to go. And so the sheriff said, "Hey, we're going to have a news conference," because they were all sitting out in front of the police station. And so when they did, he says, "Hey, I'd like to appreciate y'all being here, blah, blah, blah. But you all are under arrest."
Whoa!
This is the guy that called the news conference and arrested. Yeah.
Yes.
What?
15 because he said... Because there was some of them were live streaming, and some of the posts on the live stream, they were in there in the police office watching them, watching the live streams on YouTube, and there were some death threats posted on officers. So they said that since they were out there, that they got arrested at their cameras.
So let me clarify, because somebody who was watching the stream commented with a threat, that meant that the sheriff he thought he could arrest the person who was initiating the stream?
So if a police officer inside the office goes in and, on a dummy Facebook account and says, "I'm going to kill you all," then everybody in the room gets arrested?
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I hope the ACLU's taking this case, because it's going to be open and shut, I suspect.
Well, they took everybody, even people that weren't even live streaming. You were a witness to it out here because you had a phone or a camera.
Did this just happen? Because I hadn't even heard of this.
This is like about 3 weeks ago, I guess.
My God!
Pull it up. There is a. I don't mean to plug anybody's, YouTube channel, but there's a guy called James Freeman.
Okay.
Check his channel out and check it with the Leon Valley.
Leon Valley, like Leon Valley.
Yep.
All right, we'll definitely look into that. That does sound. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised by this.
No.
This is the same level of just insanity. I mean, we had a guy in New Hampshire. There was I don't think it was a sheriff. I think it was a police chief in New Hampshire who arrested a guy for making a comment that was like negative towards him on I think it was a news article by the local newspaper.
Corruption.
Didn't like that.
They just went and arrested this dude. Now, of course, the charges ended up getting dropped because, thank goodness, there is still some semblance of free speech.
But that's not a win. If you go to jail and you had to hire a lawyer and you had to pay out the money, you've already been given the punishment because you lost the money, you lost your time, you got the indignity of being arrested. Let's not forget what that does to your job, your relationship. God knows your dog might have got shot in the process.
Absolutely true. Brian, thanks for the call. Thanks for sharing that with us tonight here. I appreciate it. And how can anybody, when they become aware of these stories, and there's no shortage of this stuff out there when it comes to police corruption, when it comes to the government always getting bigger and more oppressive, and people losing freedoms in the United States. We've talked for years about the index of economic and personal freedoms here on Free Talk Live,
with the United States going down
every year,
less and less free of a country. Notice the people who have said this is the greatest country on earth. Notice they've said, I love this country. They don't say it's the home of the free anymore. They don't say it's the freest country on the earth. They don't say it's a free country anymore.
We never hear that anymore.
Because it's just not.
Let's continue here. Your calls and thoughts.
You're free to complain like we do.
He is Trucker Matt calling us presumably from the road. Trucker Matt, you're on Free Talk Live listening to WIBC FM in Indianapolis.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I am extremely proud of my country and extremely proud to be an American.
Tell me about that. What's that mean to you?
Well, I'm extremely proud to have my freedom. I have a sailboat when I'm not working. I can go out on the lakes and the rivers and even out to the ocean and sail across, the water and have the waves hitting the hull of the boat. And I think about all the men and women that have gone before me to make it so that I have that freedom, that I can travel from coast to coast.
You mean as long as you aren't molested by the Coast Guard or some other cops?
Well, the Coast Guard's rarely out there. It's interesting that a guy who spends most of his time being traced around by the Department of Transportation wants to get on a sailboat and get as far as possible from law enforcement in order to be considered free.
And did you have to register? Is your boat registered in any way? Did you have to pay any sort of a fee to be able to get on those waterways that you love so much?
Yep, I do have to register my boat, and there are fees.
Now, what would happen? What would happen if you were out there in that boat on those waterways that you love so much, and you hadn't registered your boat, and an authority noticed that you hadn't registered your boat?
Someone claiming to be an authority.
Yeah. What would be the consequences there?
Well, that would put my freedom at jeopardy.
Sure would.
Rudy Giuliani historically and famously said, "Obedience is freedom."
Yeah, clearly.
You have to obey these so-called authorities, these men and women who somehow believe they're better than you because somebody went somewhere and voted for somebody, you have to do what they say in order to be free.
Because freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. It comes with a registration fee attached to it.
No, freedom is 12 miles out.
There you go.
Once you've got that sailboat 12 miles out, then you're free.
And that's not the U.S.
That's a good point.
Yeah, freedom is never free, and it's not. And freedom isn't free anywhere in any nation in the world. And I would say that despite the flaws in our government, despite the flaws in some police officers or some group like the Coast Guard or the DOT, when there are times when you get done wrong. But on the whole, for the most part, I can travel very free across this country with very little
Don't you have, as a truck driver, have to pull over in every single state to get weighed?
Right. Just make sure you ask permission and bend over whenever the men with guns tell you to. Thanks, because that's freedom. Thanks for the call, Trucker Matt. Unusual for a trucker,
in a car,
by the way.
you
Very
can.
strange.
Very unusual for a professional driver because most of those guys hate the government. The ones that I've known.
Number 18 on the heritage.org chart.
855 450 free. Join us on Free Talk Live.
Have you had credit challenges, divorce, bankruptcy, or just haven't established your credit yet? If so, getting a decent car loan can be tough. The good news is that there is a place where you can get a car loan at a fair price, regardless of your credit situation. Auto Loan Express can make it happen now when you visit newcar99.com. Here's the deal. If you have a regular job, then there's no reason to keep taking the bus or repairing that old junker. Go to newcar99.com today and fill out our simple online application. We accept over 99% of applicants and can get you behind the wheel of your new car with just a few strokes of your keyboard. No hassles, no third degree. Just fill out the simple online application and start shopping for your next car. So when you're ready to get on the road with your new car loan, visit us online at newcar99.com, where we accept 99% of all applications. Newcar99.com. If you have a job, then you qualify. Here's to you and your new car. Visit newcar99.com. Newcar99.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at SurvivorMax.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, July 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.82 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,242 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,198. Antiwar.com reports, according to the Nangarhar Provincial Governor's Office, Afghan military forces were carrying out operations in the province's Kagyani district. This involved airstrikes that caused a number of civilian casualties. 6 civilians were reported killed and 4 wounded. The attacks also damaged a mosque and 21 vehicles parked in the area. The Afghan military did not confirm nor deny this, saying it's under investigation. This incident, by all accounts, is part of a protracted Afghan military operation in and around Nangarhar province, which has been ongoing for weeks. These operations are focused on the Islamic State forces in the area, which Afghans claim to have done major damage to. There have been several offensives against the Islamic State affiliate in Afghanistan, which is centered on Nangarhar. Afghan officials have claimed the Islamic State to have been totally wiped out multiple times, only for them to re-emerge within weeks after the offensive ends.
FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
UPI reports a judge has ruled a Kansas water slide billed as the world's largest, where a boy was killed in 2016, will be demolished this summer. The 17-story Verrückt slide at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas has been out of service for 2 years since a raft carrying 10-year-old Caleb Schwab overturned August 7, 2016, and he was decapitated by a metal pole. 2 other riders received serious injuries. Wyandotte County Judge Robert Burns gave approval Thursday to tear down the slide, overruling a 2016 2017 ordered to let it stand as the investigation continued. Demolition, which is expected to take 3 weeks, will begin after Labor Day. Several park employees have been charged with second-degree homicide over Schwab's death, including Schlitterbahn co-owner Jeffrey Henry, Farouk lead designer John Schooley, and contractors Henry & Sons Construction. They also face charges of aggravated battery and aggravated child endangerment. Former park director Tyler Miles and KC Water Park Management each face counts of involuntary manslaughter and interfering with law enforcement. Officials said Miles misled investigators and did not disclose pertinent documents. Park maintenance workers John Salzman and David Hughes are also charged with misleading investigators. Texas-based Schlitterbahn ultimately reached settlements in civil courts with the Schwab family and other injured riders for about $20 million. The boy, who died in 2016, was the son of Kansas State Representative Scott Schwab.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com. Reuters reports a federal judge in California on Friday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to pay the cost of reuniting immigrant parents with children separated from them by officials at the U.S.-Mexico border, rather than forcing the parents to pay. The U.S. government is working to reunite around 2,000 children with their parents who were detained and separated as part of Trump's zero-tolerance approach to deter undocumented immigration. Judge Dana Sabraw, who last month ordered that the children be reunited with their parents by July 26th, said at a hearing in San Diego, it does not make any sense for the parents who have been separated to pay for anything. The government missed a deadline earlier this week for getting the youngest of the children back with their parents. Trump has made his hardline immigration policy a central part of his presidency. His administration adopted the family separation policy as part of an effort to discourage undocumented immigration, but Trump bowed to intense political pressure and abandoned the policy on June 20th. A lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union said at a hearing that immigrant parents had been told by immigration officials that they had to pay for their travel. One parent was initially asked to pay $1,900 to be reunited with a child, according to the ACLU court papers. Trump administration lawyer Sarah Fabian called the judge's order on paying for reunifications a huge ask on Health and Human Services. Fabian said those decisions were handled at the field level, adding that HHS had limited resources. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
The total loser's corpse contained no traces of drugs or alcohol, and a superstitious Delta Airlines adds busty mermaids to its plane noses. My friend, you look like you are in need of the world's finest internet news summaries. Please come in and warm yourself by the fire of knowledge. This is the Onion Week in Review. A new law passed in Colorado this week will allow residents with a doctor's prescription to purchase medicinal fireworks, saying that those in need of stargazers, firecrackers, and Galleria highlights now need only obtain a doctor's prescription. State officials expressed hope that the law would ease the suffering of those in need of huge, dazzling explosions. And in this week's op-ed pages, a man notes that, like it or not, we all die, then get dug up and molested. In other news, white male privilege is squandered on a job at Best Buy, and a local TCBY has missed the past 2 logo changes. Well, that's it for now. Goodbyes are bittersweet, my love, so I'll only tell you, for more, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the second hour of this live Saturday edition of the show. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well at Skype username LRN.FM, plus the Discord on-air call-in line room. Joining you tonight in the studio, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
We're going to go back to your calls and thoughts. Just want to bring you up to speed. If you're just tuning in, we started the show out with a Gallup survey showing that there's a record low percentage of Americans that describe themselves as extremely proud to be Americans. 47% in the survey that was
still
taken.
Almost half. And I would think that people that were extremely proud would also be angry that this number is at its lowest.
I bet they would. Yeah. And it's the lowest in the almost 20 years since they've started doing the survey. The peak was 70% in the year 2003. So that led us to kind of ask about you and how you feel. I mean, do you have pride in being an American? Are you proud? Do you feel pride? And if so, what does it mean to you? Like, what is it? Are you proud in the fact that you were born on a certain piece of land? Is it your neighbors, the people that you're surrounded with? Or is it the government? Are you actually proud in the government of the United States? I wouldn't think there are too many that are that proud in the government, but I don't know. It all gets kind of wrapped in and muddled together with the term American, because some people will define that differently. So we're going to go back to your calls, but Mark?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I want to ask this. Do you not even know what they're talking about when they say national pride? I mean, I
don't.
Are you asking me or the caller?
You. Do you not even know? Do you not feel any sort of national pride? And what does it mean to you?
Unless it's defined.
No. I don't want to hear about defined.
If we're not going to define terms, then we can't have a conversation. To me, the term national pride has to do with a nation, which has to do with a nation state. But other people might define nation as just simply an arbitrary landmass with people, in it who've come together.
Flags.
What about them?
I'm asking you. You're familiar with the one that flies in most buildings here in the United States, right?
What about it?
That thing.
I find those offensive.
Find the flag's offensive.
I find the government offensive, and to me, the flag is representative of the government. But for some people, the flag's representative of freedom. They don't think about.
But if you search back in your life, the flag didn't always mean the government to you. The flag is the symbol of the government. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
But it's not represented that way here in America. It's represented as, this is your piece of fabric. Your ancestors died for this fabric.
That's true everywhere.
Okay. I think I've got one.
Okay.
Ian, when you, for instance, watch the Olympics, or like how there was like the World Cup, do you feel this perhaps is the one where I'm like, okay, maybe I do have national pride.
You're like, go team.
Do you not feel a particular affinity for the United States athletes more than another one?
No, I do not.
So there's Michael Phelps, right? You like him? He smokes pot.
He smoked pot.
Okay, good. Okay,
he won the gold medal.
It's like so many gold medals.
Took bong rips and won the gold medal for
I don't know that he just like took bong rips and then won the gold medal. There might have been some time
within 24 hours. I would bet he had.
That's just a bet that you have as a pot smoker. So like Michael Phelps. Mucho gold medals, right? Like mucho oro, and he,
he's an individual though.
He represents the nation. I understand,
no, he doesn't.
But
he does.
He represents Michael Phelps.
He swims for Team America, Team USA.
Yeah,
like he got well,
he doesn't represent me.
I'm not claiming he represents
I don't think about nations. Nations don't mean anything to me. Let's go to your calls and thoughts here. We've got Larry. To me, it's just all about the individuals. Larry in Indianapolis. Hello, you're on Free Talk Live.
I'm a colored man and I'm an activist too, but I love America, and any part of America I would not shirk, because if we do that, we deny our own existence here as Americans. I'm proud of Donald Trump because he has stopped deferring to these other countries, letting them beat us bloody over our trade deals and coming back and licking our wounds like Obama and a creep like Obama. I think Donald Trump, he's one of the reasons, as a colored man, I'm more proud, even though I exist here as a slave legally. But I think when you
So you're proud to be a slave? That's a bit of a strange juxtaposition.
Yes, I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my heritage in America as a slave. My ancestors were brought into this country and sold as slaves and breeding stock and bred. So I'm proud of that fact, because we helped build America with our sweat and blood, and we exist here. That's all America has to offer. And for you guys to sit in there and deny your own existence, I mean, if America's not here, then you don't exist. And you're referring to you don't exist here.
If America's not here, then, well, I mean, if the landmass were to disappear, then I guess we would have trouble being here. So that much is true.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, what are you talking about? When you say America, what do you mean? You mean the government?
When I say America, I'm saying the government, because
see, this is what I'm talking about, where everything gets muddled together, and America means the government, and then it's the United States is the government, or whatever.
It coexists. It coexists because why? Because we make the laws. We started
No, we
out
don't.
in our Constitution.
What a ridiculous
Yes,
fantasy!
we do.
Why would they let a
do.
slave
What
make the
happened?
laws?
Because
You just said you were a slave.
No, you're a white man, right?
Allegedly.
I'm not.
Vin's actually half black, half Mexican.
Yeah, half black. I'm half black and half Mexican. My ancestors came here as slaves too.
Good.
But I'm not proud.
For you.
But I'm not very proud
Larry, you can't
of.
talk over them. Go ahead, Vince.
I'm not very proud of the fact that this country was built by enslaved people. I'm definitely not proud of that one bit. And my family were some of those enslaved people.
Well, Vin, are you, as a half-black person, are you part of the government? Are you the government? Larry says he's the government.
Absolutely not. He says we make the laws. I've never made a law in my life.
Why would they ever let the slaves make the laws anyway? And we are
ownership's
still slaves.
about control, and I have no control.
Thanks, Larry, for the call tonight. Let's bring Bob on the line here. Bob is also in Indianapolis, listening to WIBC FM. Hello, Bob.
Thank God. And I hear Larry on the radio all the time, but he's off his medication. he's totally lost it. He's totally lost it. I used to agree with him on 90% of the things. You'd think he's a left-wing, bleeding heart liberal most of the time, but tonight he's out of it. There's something wrong with him.
He's been calling this show. He's probably one of the longest-running callers on Free Talk Live because we've been on in Indianapolis for more than a decade.
Yeah, he used to call the other station we were on too, and it's great to have him as a call because he adds variety.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's an agitator. But I used to agree with him, but he's out of his mind tonight. But real quick, can I have 60 seconds? I just need 60 seconds.
We can't guarantee you that. I mean, it could be really boring, and we'll have to cut you off. So just go ahead.
It's not going to be boring. It's not going to be boring.
Well, just go ahead.
A lot of people.
Just go ahead with what you got.
Real quick, all the religious freaks out there, the churchgoers, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Ooh, I'm not religious, but it is a fact.
Many of the people who feel pride in America might be religious like that, yeah.
Well, pride is not only one of the deadly sins, and it is, it's also the first sin.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so it was
one of 7. Okay, real quick. This country was taken over. We took this from a bunch of weak people that couldn't defend themselves, Native Americans. We took it by force, starved them, raped them, murdered them, and Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, that all belonged to Mexico. We took that by force because of manifest destiny. And this whole country was built on the backs of slaves, which Larry's ancestors were, and he's out of his mind, and children, child labor, women working in factories 12, 15 hours a day, not allowed to vote. We've broken every Bill of Rights and civil right that we claim other countries break. We're always bitching about other countries breaking civil rights and human rights. We've broken every one of them. That's why nobody likes us. We're two-faced hypocrites. I'll get off there and let somebody else.
Thanks for the rant, Bob. I appreciate
and if I can get a ticket to New Zealand, give me a ticket to New Zealand. I'll get the hell out of here.
Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. New Zealand does rank higher than the United States. I believe it's in the top 5 last time I checked.
Yeah, it's in the New Zealand's number 3 on economic freedom, and then
which rankings? Which chart?
This
Heritage?
is the heritage.org, which is by no means a libertarian organization.
It's a conservative.
This is a conservative organization through and through.
So you'd think they'd have an incentive to weight the United States, but no, they're putting it what?
Maybe they did, and that's why it made it to 18.
18?
Yeah, just ahead of Lithuania.
But like a decade ago, it was in the top 10, wasn't it? The U.S.
United Arab Emirates coming in at 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? For economic freedom. That's what they say.
Just ahead of Georgia.
There's like a 400-page study
Georgia,
you can download.
The former Russian Republic, or the former Soviet Republic, Georgia.
All right, there's more on the way here. Your calls, thoughts, welcome. Our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open the Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. You dial 911 and the police roll. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime, which is why I chose Blink. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free. You can bring up whatever you want. Our toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Mark, what's something that you've gotten recently that you can recall through SaveItPurse.com?
We got a, we got a safe at the house.
Okay.
And they're not cheap.
No.
And
shipping costs on a safe going to be pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high. And it was something that we since we saved 15% on it. And
Nice.
Honestly, the 15% was a mistake. We, my wife put it in, and she's done Save It Purse through a wide range of time, but not as many times nearly as you have in that wide range. Okay. We've been doing it as long as you have, but so it's been a little while since she's done Save It Person. 15% was a pretty normal savings back then. She put it in for 15 because she knew she wanted it relatively quickly. Yep. So 15%, it got snapped up before. She told me, I just put the safe in for 15%. I said, put it in at 20. By the time, there's texting back and forth. By the time she went back to change it, it was already sold.
Damn.
So that's how quickly it went.
Yeah, I snagged, let's see, I got some two-way radios for 20% off within, they got ordered within a day of me putting it up there. So if you want to save big time on your Amazon purchases, Bitcoin.com wants you to know not only that SaveItPurse.com exists, but now they're accepting Bitcoin Cash natively. So years ago, they launched with just BTC, with just Bitcoin. And then due to consumer demand, due to people saying, hey, we don't want to spend BTC. We don't want to spend this slow, expensive, old version of Bitcoin. We want to spend Bitcoin Cash. They got enough demand. They said, all right, we're putting it in. It's going to be the only other native option for depositing cryptocurrency at saveitpurse.com. So give it a try for yourself. You can save big time on your Amazon purchases, but the catch is you have to spend your crypto, and now they accept Bitcoin Cash over at saveitpurse.com, saveatpurse.com. As we go to the calls, your calls and thoughts. Michael is in Virginia listening to WNIS. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, you're on the air.
I'm calling with a little bit different perspective that I've heard so far.
All right.
Everybody's talking about being proud to be American. I'm kind of proud to be a North American, and my ancestors were all Potomac Native Americans.
Potomac?
The government doesn't seem to exist, I wouldn't think, very much with the Native Americans after the conditions they were put through. My ancestors being Potomac, they don't exist anymore.
It's a little hard to understand what you're saying. Your ancestors what?
Potomac Indians.
Yeah, they were Potomac Native Americans.
Okay.
They call it the Potomac now.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so...
Hello? I think we lost him.
So, yeah, I can see how somebody in that circumstance would, have a whole different view on the United States government.
On the pride
the
around
flag,
the government. Yeah, for sure.
Your religion, whatever it might be. All those things.
Yeah, our last caller touched on this as well with, hey, what about the slaughtering of, innocent people that was done to make this country? A lot of people don't think about that when they're filling their hearts with pride.
A lot of people don't remember, the portion of them that's American Indian, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that one should hearken back to now and then.
Well, and now you can find that stuff out with, DNA tests and such? Yeah. Do they show you that?
Yeah, I think DNA tests are probably showing fewer people have Native American ancestry than think they do. So watch out if you decide, I thought I did. Turns out I didn't.
Michael, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay,
well, my grandfather was born in the late 1800s. He was only one half Potomac. Back in the early 1700s and late 1700s is when they moved into the Maryland and Potomac River into the streams which actually feed and start the river, which is why it was called the Savage River, because that's what they considered it to be.
Because savages were nearby. Hey, Michael, thanks for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. He's Lloyd in Detroit, watching us on YouTube. Hello, Lloyd.
Yeah, what's up? It's Lloyd in Detroit. Yeah, so that guy Larry, what an idiot, dude. They're talking about oh yeah, I love Donald Trump and I'm so happy that I'm a slave. What a retard.
I'm not sure if that was tongue-in-cheek or if he was actually being serious. I'm really not clear on that. Because how could you hold both of those viewpoints simultaneously?
I don't know, dude. He must be an idiot. And then God only knows what that guy Bob was talking about. He was just ranting on about God knows what. But yeah, I mean, all this talk about pride has been pretty interesting, I got to say. But I would certainly take a lot more pride in the YouTube stream if former co-host Lauren Rumpler was sitting there naked on that table there, basking in
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Over the top, man.
I got a little bit trigger happy there with that call. I just accidentally dropped the call. I apologize about that. I didn't want to hear any more about Lauren Rumpler being naked in the studio. That, to my knowledge, has never happened in this studio, Mark.
I'm not going to admit to anything. Okay. What are you talking about? Am I being detained?
Let's continue here. My dog Rex is on the line in Florida. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
Hey guys, I think the terms are important. Am I proud to be an American? I don't know. What do you mean? Is Hillary Clinton an American? I don't want to be one of those. Bill Clinton? I'm not sure I really want to be one. Then you got the United Nations. Well, is it United Nation states, or is the United Nations the master of the states that used to be nations? Mexico's a nation with states. If we were referred to as the Union instead of the country or the nation, the Union of States, I think we'd have more grasp on the origins of what we were taught we were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Which was to say independent nations that had formed together in the union that you described. So what you're saying is if people refer to the United States as a union of states more consistently, then they may keep it in their mind that they're really, it was the states that came first, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because when the president does the State of the Union, that's the only time you ever hear union.
That's true.
Or union of states. But all the other times, the United States, the nation is going to conquer Israel or Afghanistan or wherever we're going to beat people to death, all of a sudden we're a nation. But then when it comes to talking about, and then even if the State of the Union address, he talks about the rest of the daggone world.
You make an interesting point, my dog Rex. Thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it.
It's often so. I remember Barack Obama was answering some question at one point. He said the thing that separates nation states from other organizations is the monopoly on force.
He said that,
and what he was referring to was the United States. But the United States isn't a state.
No,
it's not a nation state. The United States is not a nation state. The United States is not a nation state. It is a union of states. Yes. The federal government, although it functions like a nation state, isn't a nation.
Let's go to Caroline in Virginia, listening to WLNI in Lynchburg. Hello, Caroline.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I am unapologetically proud to be an American, and when I think about that, I know that a lot of people are saying, like, all these atrocities that we've done, and I can acknowledge that there has been a lot of bloodshed in America.
Caroline, hold on if you can. I want to bring you back. I want to give you time to explain why you are proud to be an American. So stick with us. We're going to bring you right back here in a moment. More with Caroline. She is on the line listening in Virginia. You can join us. Phone lines are almost wide open now at 855-450-FREE. We got plenty of room for you. 855-450-3733. That's the toll-free number. Or hop on via Skype. Skype username's LRN.FM. Or there's the Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up what you want here on this live Saturday edition of the show. Unless it's not live when you're listening to it, in which case you should call tomorrow night. Because we're here 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time. Those are our live times. But we do live shows on all 7 nights. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
By the way, I want you to know about Liberty.menu. It is a tool for the libertarian community out there. So if you're not an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, well, then you don't qualify to use Liberty.menu. You actually have to be a principled libertarian to go and use this site. So keep that in mind. Liberty.menu, it's got different types of listings. You can list your business. You can list an event that you might be associated with or you want to promote, or digital content that you have created. So, for instance, I put up an entry for Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree, which is a movie that I had the pleasure of being the executive producer for. And also, of course, we got Free Talk Live up there and other things. Over at Liberty.menu, it's a way for libertarians to find other liberty-minded or liberty-friendly businesses and events and such. And it's free to use, so there's no reason, unless you want to stay in the closet and make sure nobody ever finds out you're a libertarian, as long as you're willing to let people know that, then you ought to use Liberty.menu, because again, it's free to list whatever you want up there. There are some upgrades you can pay for if you want, but the base level, as many things as you want to put in there, completely free. Over at Liberty.menu, if you want, you can use code FTL on your user profile and get a special Free Talk Live badge to identify you as a listener on the site. And there is a bit of a kind of a social networking aspect. There's, of course, ratings and reviews. At Liberty.menu, we go back to Caroline in Virginia, listening to WLNI. We've been talking about Gallup survey finding that a record low number of Americans are describing themselves as extremely proud to be Americans. That number now 47%, down from a record high and of 70% back in 2003. And Caroline, you'd called in to tell us that you are one of those extremely proud people, and you were just getting into telling us why when we had to go to break. So please, go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay, sure. So I was just saying I am unapologetically an American. I know that there's been stuff that's been done in the name of American freedom, but whenever I think about it, I actually think about all the men in World War I, World War II, all the men that served and died for our country. I think that in and of itself makes me proud that I live in a place where people would willingly sacrifice themselves for my freedom. I'm coming from the point of, I'm technically a millennial. My background is I'm Black, white, Native American, Asian. I have a Christian core value system. So for me, I love the fact that we were founded on the freedom of religion, and that's still something that exists hundreds of years later, as well as the idea that we can change our social status by being ambitious and working hard enough, which I know a lot of people in this country are pretty stagnant. They're happy where they are, but some of us desire to move upwards in our economic systems. And
were your parents born in this country?
Yes. Both of my parents actually served in the military
Okay.
My dad was a Naval Academy grad, Marine Corps officer. My mom was.
I just find foreign-born people tend to be far more sort of capitalistic, far more entrepreneurial than people who are usually from the United States. It's just anecdotal.
I'm kind of interested in this World War I, World War II pride, because you said people who willingly went. What?
She just dropped off the line. But go ahead with whatever you were going to say.
It's a little weird, like people who. What about the people who didn't willingly go because they were drafted? Well, is she proud of that aspect? It's weird to me.
Yeah. Also, World War I was, something that the United States both people running for office intended to
keep out,
to stay out of. Woodrow Wilson said he was going to keep us out of foreign entanglements. Finally, gets drug in to. World War I. It is quite possible, and historians generally believe, if Woodrow Wilson had not capitulated to the Republicans and it put the United States into war, Republicans and Democrats were completely different back then, and capitulated, that Hitler would have never rose to power. That the United States'
a strong argument for that.
Yeah, it's about as strong as it gets from a historical what-if situation. That if the United States doesn't go into World War I, Hitler, there's no Treaty of Versailles. Both sides sort of come to a stalemate, and then there's a much better treaty. You really don't have a European theater of World War II. Obviously, there's still some kind of conflict with Japan because the United States wanted to dominate Japan, and that was going to happen. And Japan didn't want to be dominated. They felt like they were better than that.
She's back. I don't know. Something must have happened with her cell phone. And we do have a one call per night rule on Free Talk Live, but if there's a technical problem, you're always welcome to call back. Caroline, you're back on. I don't know how much of that discussion you just heard.
Did you hear my question, Caroline, about you had said that you were proud of the people who willingly served in World War I and World War II. How do you feel about the people who didn't willingly serve because they were drafted?
So with the draft, I think that's kind of one of those things where if you don't want to serve, I can understand that, but I think that, in my opinion, being able to put aside the things that you have going on here and making that sacrifice for your future family, your kids, for the people who have done it before you, I think it's an honor to serve, and I don't think that
what is it that is honorable about doing what politicians tell you to do?
Well, I think about the great evil at that time. Nowadays, we think about it as okay, so there's terrorism, but there's not really, other than North Korea, there's not an extremely militant country spouting hate that they're going to basically wipe people off the face of the earth. So other than North Korea, I don't think that we face that kind of powerhouse like Germany was. With Germany,
okay, that still doesn't answer my question.
Germany was basically saying things like, we really hate England and France for these unfair reparations. And that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
The reparations are unfair if you think about it. But I think the question that you're asking is a loaded question. But
it takes the idea that most people tend to believe that politicians are liars and thieves. I mean, do you believe in politicians? Do you think that they tell the truth?
Honestly, I don't think that anybody, no matter what your profession, tells the truth all the time. I think that.
Do you think politicians are more likely or less likely to tell the truth?
So put the average person at 5. Now rate the average politician against the average person.
Wait, is 10 the highest lies?
10 is the most honest person she knows.
The most honest. Okay.
You are among the most honest person that I know, Ian. Okay. I don't particularly like you as a human being, but you are.
How do I know you're not telling a lie when you say that?
Among the most honest people I know, but down at the bottom for me.
Yeah.
Just this amorphous term, politician.
Yes.
I'm going to put him at 1.5.
Yeah.
So how about you, Caroline?
Well, the idea behind a politician is somebody that is basically spouting whatever they think that people want to hear in order to get elected.
Yep,
I think
sounds
the
right.
idea of a public servant is what appeals more to me, and I think that the modern politician really has a lot to learn if they want to continue to be elected, because I think the recent elections have shown that you can't be a career politician anymore. People want to actually be active.
So Caroline, if politicians are not honest, ethical people, in your opinion, why do you think it's an honor to have them forcefully induct you into the military and go and do their bidding overseas, because it is the bidding of politicians. I mean, a politician is the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military.
The military is just following orders.
So how is that an honorable thing?
So if you think about it, you could say that I'm serving a politician, or you could think about it as in I'm fighting an evil. And that's kind of how I see it.
An evil,
you can either believe in the truth, or you can create a fantasy.
The best thing to do for your mental health, if you end up in that situation, is to say, I'm fighting an evil. But the reality of the situation is that your death, your injury, your mental state is likely to have done F all for the war effort in general. If you were to go and ask some veteran who has some limb blown off and spend a little time with them, trying to find out exactly how freedom was forwarded by that particular situation. And it's always fun, by the way, to pick World War II, because I saw Saving Private Ryan, and it's an awesome movie. But, I mean, there's a lot of wars that are in the U.S. history that didn't have, the same sort of sanctity that's drawn up around that one. If you ask a vet, most of the time they're like, yeah.
That was a waste.
Yeah.
Hey, Caroline, thank you for the call tonight. I do appreciate the discussion, and don't hesitate to call us in the future. I appreciate that. The toll-free number, if you want to join us here, is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Yeah, politicians aren't honorable, so you can't be honorable if you're serving them, right? It's Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. $39.95 and free economy shipping. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Broadcasting to over 1,000 radio stations, GCN programming is in all of the largest markets. A GCN advertising career could be the business opportunity you've been waiting for. Companies need hardworking representatives just like you to handle their needs, while you earn residual income which can last for years. Companies are buying and they need you. Email advertise@gcnlive.com or call 877-996-4327. That's 877-996-4327.
Bewildered paralegal Caitlin Levy says that after returning home from work today, it occurred to her that oddly at no point during her day was she harassed, leered at, or made to feel humiliated or physically threatened.
It's weird. Looking back on it, I suddenly realized that not one strange man made a creepy comment at me or an obscene gesture or a sleazy look for like the whole day. How can that be?
The 29-year-old told reporters that even at points in her day when she is traditionally almost certain to be made uncomfortable by at least 1 or 2 leering male strangers, not a single such instance occurred.
I actually got to walk from the train to my office and never once catch some weirdo smiling at me or looking me up and down or slowing down his car to yell some shit out the window at me. I felt weirdly safe or something.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Our toll-free number for you, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
Don't forget, you can go to freetalklive.com. We've got a lot of cool features on the site. Our webcam is available to you, and it's available on 2 different platforms. There's the YouTube version and the Twitch version. Twitch is in HD. YouTube is not. So if you prefer the high quality, you definitely want to go with our Twitch. You can watch it just by going to freetalklive.com or cam.freetalklive.com. Plus, there's our Twitch channel. So on the cam page on the website, it's kind of built into the page. But if you want to go to our Twitch page, you can go to twitch.lrn.fm, and that'll take you to our Twitch page. We're getting closer to 400 followers. We'd appreciate if you are a Twitch user, if you would hit the follow button on us. And if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can actually give us a subscription. There's one free subscription that you get as one of your perks for being an Amazon Prime subscriber. So if you don't use the perk, then you don't use it. If you do use the perk, then Amazon sends LRN, the Liberty Radio Network, a couple bucks for that month. But you have to keep redoing it every single month. So we've got some instructions there on our cam page at twitch.lrn.fm. Just scroll down below the cam just a little bit and you can read those instructions. It's super easy. All you got to do is connect your Amazon account with your Twitch account, and that's easy to do because Amazon owns Twitch. So once again...
No, I don't have anything to say about Twitch. I wanted to talk about our topic.
Twitch.lrn.fm. The topic has been throughout the show about pride in America.
Yeah, so I've got to, admittedly, I have some of this sort of irrational and tribal-based thought.
Still, after all these years?
Yeah, I mean, I like... Yeah, there's things I like about it, the United States, and I can get a little teary-eyed now and then when I'm watching, some Burns documentary or whatever. So yeah, I tend to feel these ways. I feel bad for people calling in and getting sort of ripped up from a rational standpoint because there's nothing rational about a feeling. And a nationalism is a feeling, and it's a pretty irrational feeling.
Sure is.
Once you begin to dissect what it means. Right. I, like anyone, love Saving Private Ryan. It's a great movie. But if you look at how America was before Saving Private Ryan and how America, felt about World War II then and how it feels about World War II now, Saving Private Ryan really changed the narrative. Our last caller, Caroline, mentioned that she was proud of Americans who, fought in World War I and World War II, and she's a millennial. So, I mean, yeah, there's a whole lot of national pride. Movies tap into it. They expand that national pride because it's of benefit to them. I mean, Saving Private Ryan is a patriotic film. It benefits from patriotism. It expands patriotism and then benefits from its own patriotism. And it's sort of this circle. And it's a great piece of cinematography, and it changed the way America felt about World War II. The United States didn't get into World War II about Jews to save them. For God's sakes, FDR sent the Amsterdam, the SS Amsterdam, which was full of Jews, back and away. I believe they died.
Death.
Yeah, to their deaths. I believe they died to a person. So, in my
they
opinion,
didn't even know that the Holocaust was taking place until they had actually liberated Germany, quote unquote, until the war was won and they showed up at the concentration camps.
They knew some bad things were happening, but they didn't know what.
They didn't know there was a Holocaust.
Let's go to Gene. He's the Christian anarchist on our Discord on-air call-in line room. Go ahead, Gene.
Hello, guys.
Hey there.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about liberty and freedom and patriotism and all of these things that, if you are familiar with the movie 1984, you will know that they had something in there called newspeak. And the newspeak didn't have anything to do with watching the news or writing a newspaper. The newspeak meant that they were changing the language. So each iteration of a word, they would change the definition of that word to mean something else, because communication requires definitions. And the reason that people are confused about patriotism and, pride in their country and all this kind of stuff is because the words have been changed over the years. You don't hear people talking about liberty. And when they do talk about liberty, they're not talking about liberty as it was defined 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole new definition. Freedom is now slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom is defined as paying your taxes of all the craziest things. Okay, I'm free to pay my taxes. Follow the laws. This is defined as freedom. None of these things have anything to do with freedom. Yet if you talk to the average American citizen who's been public school educated for the most part, their brains have been redefined. They've redefined these words within the engrams of their brains. They can't speak about freedom and liberty because they don't know what it is anymore.
Well, here's the full quote. I mentioned this earlier. Rudy Giuliani, in a speech that was, I guess, probably like a decade, maybe even more than a decade ago. Quote, "We look upon authority too often and focus over and over again for 30 or 40 or 50 years as if there's something wrong with authority. We see only the oppressive side of authority. Maybe it comes out of our history and our background. What we don't see is that freedom is not a concept in which people can do anything they want, be anything they can be. Freedom is about authority."
That is straight out of 1984.
Isn't it? One more sentence. "Freedom is about the willingness of every single human being to cede to lawful authority a great deal of discretion about what you do."
So slavery is freedom.
That's literally what he's saying.
That was one of the mottos of the government in 1984.
Right.
Slavery is freedom, and we're there. Yeah. We're full. What a prophecy. Orwell was a prophet.
It's impressive because you can go back and watch that movie, and I haven't watched it in many, many years myself. I probably should rent it and check and probably do an illegal recording of it. Don't tell the feds, and then watch it again, because the hero in that movie, that's the department he worked in. He was in the newspeak department.
Mm.
He was there to help change the definitions of words on a daily basis, depending on what their goonerment was telling them that day the definition of the word was. And then if all of the people didn't use it by the proper definition, then of course they're punished. If they don't follow all of the rules, they're punished.
Are we punished today for not following these rules?
We are. We're so close to 1984.
Well, tell me how.
Well, try and post some free speech on the internet, for instance. That's not popular speech. Of course, you can say popular things on the internet all you want, but try and say some things on the internet that, I know you guys don't like racist speak, and I don't like racist speak either, but try and say horrible racist things on the internet and see how far you get away. No, I'm sorry, but that is free speech, and it is something.
Well, I mean, the internet's still a place where you can say horrible things. I mean, we have a former co-host named Chris Cantwell who does that all the time.
Good Lord.
Now, he's been punished by the marketplace for that by having companies like PayPal or credit card processors cut him off.
One could
and
make
not do
the
business
argument, the argument that it's the populace that does the punishment. Remember the story about the monkeys in the cage where they put the banana at the end of the string, and every time one monkey would go up the ladder to get the banana, they'd spray every monkey in the whole cage
then
with a fire hose.
Then the monkeys would start enforcing against people.
And then they changed up the monkeys slowly, and then pretty soon you had monkeys who had never been sprayed by a hose attacking other monkeys who had never been sprayed by a hose for going up for a banana that they presumably weren't going to be sprayed by a hose for going up after. And that's how that worked.
That is the psychology and all of those psychological tools are being used by the government right now. They're one of the things I've noticed a lot on Twitter and stuff is all of a sudden they're using this pedophile thing. Everybody's a pedophile, and I want to put pedophiles in the wood chipper, and all of this horrible talk about how bad people are gonna want to treat somebody who's labeled a pedophile. Well, that's now they're conditioned this way. So the government, all they need to do is label someone a pedophile.
It's pretty easy, too. I would presume, in this world of where the NSA is doing its spying, I would presume that anybody in America could have child pornography put on their computer and then be rated for that child pornography and then be a child pornography possessor within a matter of a day,
or
if a government agent wanted to do that.
And thanks for the call, Gene. I appreciate hearing from you via our Discord on-air call-in-line room. Or you could just be a 20-year-old male, take naked pictures of your 17-year-old girlfriend,
That's right.
and then face 30 years in prison.
That's right.
Well, that does happen, yeah.
For making what they call child pornography, even though the age of consent in the state in which this happened was 16.
Yeah.
They got the story on that from Reason here. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Over the last 4 years, 3 of the biggest online precious metals dealers have gone bankrupt and their owners put in prison due to theft and fraud. Having previously purchased precious metals, can you be sure you purchased the right product? Did you receive proper advice? Or were you stung by one of these companies? Miles Franklin has been in business for 29 years without receiving any material customer or regulatory complaints ever. Maintaining an A-plus Better Business Bureau rating and residing in Minnesota, the only state in America that regulates the precious metals industry, making doing business in precious metals with Miles Franklin the safest choice, bar none. Call us at 866-485-4346 and let us review your portfolio at no commitment whatsoever. Again, that's 866-485-4346. Get the peace of mind you deserve in working with a precious metals company with a reputation like Miles Franklin. Again, that's 866-485-4346. Miles Franklin Precious Metals, the name you can trust.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, July 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.82 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,242 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,198. Antiwar.com reports, according to the Nangarhar Provincial Governor's Office, Afghan military forces were carrying out operations in the province's Kagyani district. This involved airstrikes that caused a number of civilian casualties. 6 civilians were reported killed and 4 wounded. The attacks also damaged a mosque and 21 vehicles parked in the area. The Afghan military did not confirm nor deny this, saying it's under investigation. This incident, by all accounts, is part of a protracted Afghan military operation in and around Nangarhar province, which has been ongoing for weeks. These operations are focused on the Islamic State forces in the area, which Afghans claim to have done major damage to. There have been several offensives against the Islamic State affiliate in Afghanistan, which is centered on Nangarhar. Afghan officials have claimed the Islamic State to have been totally wiped out multiple times, only for them to re-emerge within weeks after the offensive ends.
FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
UPI reports a judge has ruled a Kansas water slide built as the world's largest, where a boy was killed in 2016, will be demolished this summer. The 17-story Verrückt slide at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas, has been out of service for 2 years since a raft carrying 10-year-old Caleb Schwab overturned August 7, 2016, and he was decapitated by a metal pole. 2 other riders received serious injuries. Wyandotte County Judge Robert Burns gave approval Thursday to tear down the slide, overruling a 2016 order to let it stand as the investigation continued. Demolition, which is expected to take 3 weeks, will begin after Labor Day. Several park employees have been charged with second-degree homicide over Schwab's death, including Schlitterbahn co-owner Jeffrey Henry, Verrückt lead designer John Schooley, and contractors Henry & Sons Construction. They also face charges of aggravated battery and aggravated child endangerment. Former park director Tyler Miles and KC Water Park Management each face counts of involuntary manslaughter and interfering with law enforcement. Officials said Miles misled investigators and did not disclose pertinent documents. Park maintenance workers John Salzman and David Hughes are also charged with misleading investigators. Texas-based Schlitterbahn ultimately reached settlements in civil courts with the Schwab family and other injured riders for about $20 million. The boy, who died in 2016, was the son of Kansas State Representative Scott Schwab.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
Reuters reports a federal judge in California on Friday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to pay the cost of reuniting immigrant parents with children separated from them by officials at the U.S.-Mexico border, rather than forcing the parents to pay. The U.S. government is working to reunite around 2,000 children with their parents who were detained and separated as part of Trump's zero-tolerance approach to deter undocumented immigration. Judge Dana Sabraw, who last month ordered that the children be reunited with their parents by July 26th, said at a hearing in San Diego, it does not make any sense for the parents who have been separated to pay for anything. The government missed a deadline earlier this week for getting the youngest of the children back with their parents. Trump has made his hardline immigration policy a central part of his presidency. His administration adopted the family separation policy as part of an effort to discourage undocumented immigration, but Trump bowed to intense political pressure and abandoned the policy on June 20th. A lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union said at a hearing that immigrant parents had been told by immigration officials that they had to pay for their travel. One parent was initially asked to pay $1,900 to be reunited with a child, according to the ACLU court papers. Trump administration lawyer Sarah Fabian called the judge's order on paying for reunifications a huge ask on Health and Human Services. Fabian said those decisions were handled at the field level, adding that HHS had limited resources. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Hamburglar urges a Senate subcommittee to rubble. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Hamburger advocate and convicted felon Hamburglar denounced a prison system he called rubble as he testified before the Senate subcommittee on penal reform. Hamburglar, convicted in 1998 of breaking and entering a McDonald's hamburger franchise in South Beloit, Wisconsin, and currently serving a sentence of 3 to 5 years, made this impassioned plea before being interrupted by U.S. Senator Bob Smith of Rhode Island.
Certainly there is room for improvement in our prison system, but I would hardly call the current situation rubble.
After delivering his message to the subcommittee, Hamburglar was promptly placed in chains and returned to prison to serve out the remainder of his sentence in solitary confinement. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live, we're launching into the third hour of the program. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And there's our Skype username for you as well. You can call in on Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. Plus our Discord on-air call-in line room, which is where we just had Gene the Christian Anarchist a moment ago, sounding almost like he's sitting in the studio with us here. You can sound that good too if you hop on our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
So tonight we've been talking about a study the Gallup organization has been doing for close to 2 decades at this point, finding that Americans are now at a low point. 47% of them describe themselves as extremely proud to be Americans. There are other categories, of course, that folks were given to choose, including 25% saying they are very proud, 16% moderately proud, 7% saying they're only a little proud, and 3% saying not at all proud. So we've been getting people calling in throughout the show tonight to kind of talk about where they're at with whatever pride, and what does it even mean to have pride in America.
Or a country, period.
Or a country, or, is America a country, or is it a plot of land? Is it a mindset? So what do you mean when you say you're proud of that thing? But let's break it down a little bit further here. According to the study, 32% of Democrats, down from 43% in 2017 and 56% in 2013, are extremely proud.
How much in 2013?
2013, it was 56% of Democrats were extremely proud.
Our guy isn't in office anymore, so we're upset about it? Okay.
Right.
The decline preceded the election of Donald Trump, however, but has accelerated in the past year. Less than half of independents, 42%, are also extremely proud. That's down slightly from 48% just 1 year ago and 50% in 2013. The combined 72% who are both either extremely proud or very proud to be Americans is also at its lowest point in Gallup's almost 2 decades of asking the question. Now, as has typically been the case, Republicans are more inclined to say they are extremely proud to be Americans than are Democrats and independents. 74% of Republicans are currently extremely proud, which is numerically the highest over the last 5 years. Although that said, when you look at the graph that they have of Republicans, independents, and Democrats, Republicans have been relatively steady throughout the last several years. So it was 71% in 2013, 68% 2015, 68% 2016, and then up to 72 and 74%. So, I mean, not a significant decline or a raise as far as... So even during Obama, Republicans were pretty gung-ho, proud to be Americans.
I have read liberal authors that say things to the effect of... patriotism isn't very smart or something. So I get the idea that liberals, and these are people that self-identify as progressives, right? Mm-hmm. That progressives just don't consider patriotism to be very smart or very good. Now, what it is that they cling to, what are these ideas that without reason or rationality that they cling to? I'm not entirely sure. I suspect they think socialism works.
Or organic food, lattes, and avocado toast.
Yep, and vaccines are probably bad for them, right?
I think that's split across the political landscape for sure. Yeah, that's a weird one, actually.
Now, they do an interesting second breakdown here of the numbers. So we looked at Republicans and Democrats and independents, but they also asked people whether they were conservative or liberal. So instead of just looking at one sort of metric of what people would describe as, they looked at conservative, liberal, moderate. And when you look at those numbers, it's very, very different. So again, at Democrats, you've got right now 32% of Democrats saying they're extremely proud right now, which is down quite a bit over the last several years. But if you look at people describing themselves as liberal, politically liberal, it's 23%. So even fewer of people self-describing as liberals are extremely proud, whereas, again, the conservatives kind of just about on par with where they've been since 2013. 2013, 65% of conservatives said they were extremely proud, and today, 65% of conservatives, with only a minor wavering between them.
Isn't that what it means to be conservative? Is that your views don't change over time? I mean, isn't that the definition of conservative?
It's a good point.
I think conservative is sort of a hearkening back to some time when things were better. Whatever your idea of whatever was better.
You don't want to change from that period of time. So it's like 5 years ago we were 65%. Harkening back to 5 years ago, we're still 65%.
But wouldn't most of the people that would call themselves progressives still harken back to, I don't know, the 1950s and say unions were better and all those other things? So
I don't think anymore. I don't think that the wide progressive movement is very much about the unions anymore. I mean, if they were about the unions, they're not very much about the working class anymore. It seems like most.
What are they about now?
It's not work. It's kind of like
social justice,
identity politics. Now it's really universal basic income. I'm actually
right. Who wants to work when you can get universal basic income?
I actually am seeing a lot of things online now, Twitter, and particularly like millennials who are identifying as this new democratic socialist thing that is like, who are saying work is actually oppression. The fact that you have to work actually means that you are being oppressed, and
that's not a new concept for them, but it's interesting. You're saying it's a shift in what they're focusing on.
It's not a new concept for anyone, because I think we probably all felt that way when we were like 7 or 8 years old.
This universal basic income thing is becoming ubiquitous in the news. Yes. I don't know if you've noticed that. By the way, we should mention you host a show, Vin.
I do.
The Vin Armani Show.
Yes.
Which happens, is it still Mondays?
Mondays, yep. Every Monday. Well, it's 10 a.m. Pacific because it started in Nevada, in Las Vegas where I was. But I guess that's what, 1 p.m.
Eastern.
here, yes.
And people would know you from
Gigolos on Showtime. I was on that for 6 seasons, yeah.
You go to vinarmani.com. Yep. And you can check out the show there. It is, of course, available after the fact, not just live. You can watch it on YouTube. And do you get do you do blog posts on the site?
I don't do blog posts on the site, but I'm very, very active on Twitter.
That's right. You're constant on Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah.
What's your Twitter handle?
Vin Armani.
Just Vin Armani. Okay, that's what I thought. So check them out, vinarmani.com. As we go to your calls and thoughts here, just another quick rundown. At the very end here, they've got the breakdown of further categories and demographics. 51%, this is for 2018, 51% of men are extremely proud to be Americans. 44% of women, 54% of whites, 33% of non-whites. When you break it down by age group, it's the elderly folks, the retirees, 65 and older, who are at 58% of extreme pride. People between the ages of 50 and 64 at 56% of extreme pride. 30 to 49, that would be what, partially millennial, partially Gen Xers. They're at 42% of extreme pride. Go down to 18 to 29, and you're at 33% of extreme pride to be an American. And finally, the last breakdown they give you is between college graduates and non-college graduates, where it's 39% of college graduates have extreme pride and 52% of non-college graduates.
That might be telling.
To your calls and thoughts here, we go to John. He's in Indiana listening to WIBC FM. Hello, John.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud to be an American.
All right. Why?
The United States, I mean, you got to understand, we are the bounty of the Enlightenment. I mean, there's a lot of countries, or a lot of people, I would say not really countries, but this New World Order thing would love to see the United States go and our constitutional freedom go. Me and you I've had arguments about that before where you don't really respect the Constitution.
Oh, no. I like a lot of the ideas in the Constitution, but tell me, which of the constitutional freedoms that were outlined in the Bill of Rights are still intact today, fully intact?
I think they would be, but we've had problems with the Republican and Democrats have basically hijacked our judicial system and undermined the meaning of the Constitution with this living document stuff.
Sure.
It's not a living document.
So you acknowledge that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights have basically been gutted and are no longer in effect?
Well, I did not say that. You said that.
I'm just trying to figure out which is which, though.
I think they are in effect, and they are under attack. And one of the worst things that we could ever do is have people question whether or not that it is valid. Every time
isn't the Enlightenment about questioning?
Yeah, thou shalt not question the authority. Hold on, John. We'll bring you back here if you want to continue. Your calls and thoughts are welcome here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, where you are welcome to question and encouraged to do so here on Free Talk Live. 855-450-3733 or Skype in at Skype username LRN.FM. This is Free Talk Live's live Saturday show.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com. I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are 1. Share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love. But make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com. We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype. Skype username's lrn.fm. We've got the Discord on-air call-in line room where you can jump in and hop in, sound like you're right here in the studio with us. In the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
Hey, are you a cryptocurrency advocate? Well, I know that we are here on Free Talk Live, but maybe if you're into crypto and you want to get other people into it, you need some tools. And one of the best ones I've seen is the Crypto Tip. It's an ideal outreach tool to help people who are new to crypto discover what it is. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, for instance, preferably in addition to a good cash tip, because then they'll take it seriously and actually look at it. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of what cryptocurrency is, how to install a wallet, and then will allow them to claim the amount that you put on the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, no worries. You get your tip refunded to you after a time period that you specify. And if they do claim the tip, you'll receive an email alert letting you know that you did so. And there's even a little admin page for your tips where, let's say I'm out, I leave a tip I left one at Subway this week, and I asked the girl what her name was. And so then when I left, I put it in my little admin panel because each tip is unique with a number on it. And I said, I wrote this, gave this tip out at Subway, and I gave it to this girl and wrote her name down. And so if she cashes it in or if she redeems it, I'll get an email then I can click over and see, it was her at the Subway that did that. And then if I wanted to, I could go follow up with her and see if she had any questions about it. So you can create as many tips as you want. Right now it's Dash only, but at some point we may be adding some extra cryptos in there. The site's currently in beta. Cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Let's go back to John in Indianapolis. He is extremely proud, he says. One of the 47% of Americans, a record low number of Americans describing themselves as extremely proud to be an American, and wanted to make sure you had a chance to get your thoughts out. So please, John, go ahead. John? Ian.
Yeah.
Hey, we got you.
I didn't know you were going to leave me on, but anyways,
here you are.
I've been traveling overseas the last 2 winters, and the one thing I've noticed is that one of the things that bothers me the most is you got CNN playing everywhere. I mean, I'm sitting in the Philippines and in Hong Kong, and you got CNN on TV. They're poisoning the minds of people all over the world with this globalism stuff and talking bad about America. But the one thing I do know is that people are interested in us and they like us. And I'll tell you, when I was talking to Europeans who were vacationing in some of the areas I was in, I was proud to say I was an American. I mean, I was really proud to say, hey, I'm an American. I'm from the United States. I'm a U.S. American.
A lot of people are able to differentiate between Americans as individuals and American government. A lot of people can tell the difference. Some people might lump them all together, but many people know that just because you're from this plot of land doesn't mean that you agree with everything the government does. And I think
they love it.
Yeah, a lot of people love American movies and they love American fast food and
love American tourists.
Sure.
They think we're great. I mean, there's the thing about, as long as, I'm a good person. So, I'm a good tipper. One of the things I felt like that I needed to do is, when you're in third world countries, tip well. It doesn't take a lot. It really says a lot about us because, they sit back and they go, hey, we really like these people, these Americans. And I think that that's really important when you're traveling. make sure you tip.
I think that's good advice, John. I will agree with you on that much, and I thank you for the call tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
Remember, I don't know if you were there at the time. I went to that taco truck when we were down in Acapulco, and I'm throwing pesos around like they're nothing. Because
was this the one that was on the hotel?
This was the taco truck that was near the. I don't remember any of the names of these places, but it was near the venue that we were at in Acapulco. It was at that same location as the restaurant we went to, but it was just on site serving tacos at lunchtime. And Laura and I went down there, and I wanted to have a regular Mexican Coca-Cola. I wanted to see what it was like, and turns out
the
real sugar.
It tastes the same to me, but I'm sure everybody they're shocked at their radios right now. But it didn't taste that different to me. I can't drink a whole one, but I did try it out and see. But I was throwing pesos around like they're nothing because they are.
That's right.
And I forgot my laptop bag there.
Yeah.
And I paid way too much for my computer. My laptop computer.
Yeah.
And, this guy who's probably living on...
You didn't leave that at a taco truck. You left that at the taqueria.
No, I left it at a taco truck.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you left it at the taqueria because I was there when it happened. It was the taqueria where we sat out there and they had like a TV outside and, they were very
Maybe you
nice.
left it twice.
You went back and got it, and he was like running up to give it to you or whatever, right?
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, the guy who makes very little per day is running up and giving my laptop, which had he sold it would probably have kept him for a good month.
Yeah, for sure. Good people, man. I enjoyed my time down there, and I think I heard that in Acapulco 2019 is already getting put together. Am I right about that?
Yeah, well, we've got a copy for it already.
Yeah, they reached out to me. Yeah, they sent me some stuff for my show as well.
So you going back?
I'm going
next year.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I'll be
very good. All right, so let's go to your calls and thoughts here. We'll tell you more.
I'm glad to know that I'm not a bad American just for traveling outside the United States.
Let's continue here. We go to Keith. He's in Philadelphia. Keith, are you listening on the radio in Philadelphia?
Yes, sir. I'm a truck driver.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. So what's on your mind tonight?
Thank you for your service.
Yes. Well, thank you for your show. Yeah, God bless. I've lived all over the world. I lived in India and Europe. I studied in Poland and traveled all throughout the world. And America is great. I love this country. In fact, it's a constitutional republic, and we're not a democracy. The fact of the matter is a republic has fixed laws. So, for example, if 99.9% of the people believe that it is okay to kill a certain type of a person, it's still wrong in America. That makes
What if the people that do the killing are politicians or the people that are employed by the politicians?
Well, okay, but you have to understand something here. In this country, we have a corporatocracy, and oligarchy has taken over what America was originally intended to be by our founding fathers.
So it's not a republic anymore.
Yeah, it's not a constitutional republic.
Well, no, you have to understand that there still is a constitutional republic set in our bylaws, in the Bill of Rights, in the constitutional republic.
It's in his
Magna
mind.
Carta has not. The Magna Carta is, that predates all of our, Constitution and Bill of Rights. However, there's I want to say that there was a law that was thrown out, habeas corpus. Look up habeas corpus. When they threw that out, they threw the baby with the bathwater out. And our American Constitution, our congressmen and senators sold Americans out.
So is it still a constitutional republic?
When they got rid of I want to say that it's still
I'd like to believe it was.
It's as much of a republic as the Republic of the People's Republic of North Korea. How about that?
Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm going to say that that's why we.
How about the People's
have,
Republic of China? How about isn't Venezuela a republic?
Venezuela's a republic as well.
Communism? Isn't that communism? The people
I'd
don't even have a
I'd call that
voice
state
over there.
capitalism. The best definition of state capitalism out there.
China for sure.
Okay, fake capitalism isn't fascism. Fake capitalism.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Fascism is run by.
Hold that thought,
corporate interests.
Keith. It's Free Talk Live.
Are you retired or facing retirement and you're afraid your income is going to be less than you'd like? I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and I want to show you a low-cost way to create your own business working around your current schedule, creating extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me, about my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live dial. Toll free. Join us right here. The number 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have Skype as well. And the Skype username is lrn.fm. Plus, you can call on the Discord on-air call-in line room over at discord.lrn.fm. And Free Talk Live is brought to you by Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree at victimlesscrimespree.com. We are, I think, now at year number 6 since Victimless Crime Spree was released. It was the summertime of 2012 when we put out what is arguably one of the best documentaries you'll ever see from a libertarian perspective. And I don't say that just because I really love the movie, although I do. Other people have told me that they really think it's like the best libertarian documentary. So check it out. It's free to watch over at victimlesscrimespree.com. But if you are a big fan, then you might want to order the Director's Cut DVD because it is now out of print, and there are only about 100 copies available left for sale. If you want one of them, you can go to victimlesscrimespree.com, click on either DVD or order. One of those will get you there. You can get it through eBay, and you can get it through Open Bazaar, which so far no one has ordered one through Open Bazaar, but I hope it's working because I have it running, and so you, in theory, should be able to. So maybe at some point somebody will test that out. But go to victimlesscrimespree.com and enjoy because it's free. As we continue here, people calling in about their national pride or pride in being an American. Are those the same things? Well, according to Gallup surveys, 47% in the United States now describe themselves as extremely proud. It is a record low number, extremely proud to be Americans. And Keith was on the line trying to explain to us that, and let me see if I can kind of recap this, that you believe that the United States was founded as a republic, but you've also admitted that it's basically been debased at all levels by the politicians, but yet that it still is a republic? I don't want to put words in your mouth, Keith.
I'm not going to say all the politicians. I mean, there's always a few good ones.
Sure, Ron Paul.
They just get voted out.
Absolutely, Ron Paul and his son. I mean, the fact of the matter is that's what we sent Trump in there to do, to drain the swamp.
How's that working out?
The swamp is the corporate interest. We want to get rid of money.
How long does it take to drain?
Political system.
Isn't Trump the CEO of a...
We want the audited of the feds. We want the feds to be audited. We want the IRS to be audited.
Did Trump promise that?
That's what we're trying. Well, he did mention it during in Cleveland. I know in one of his political.
So how long does it take to drain a swamp? I mean, because if the claim is that Donald Trump went into...
He's only one man. He can't... He's not a miracle maker. He can only do so many things.
Well, but wait a minute. If you really are there to drain the swamp, then how is appointing people like Jeff Sessions to, political seats, how's that draining the swamp?
Jeff Sessions has a stellar record. He has,
yeah, if you love the government.
Actually, he is a God-fearing man, and he's a constitutionalist and a patriot at the core.
What a joke. He is an authoritarian. He is an authoritarian statist at the core, sir.
Why? Why do you say that?
He's a drug warrior, number one.
Oh, because he wants to get rid of marijuana. Oh, come on. Marijuana doesn't do us any good as a people. I mean,
really?
It literally
have you ever heard any music?
Yes, look at the studies of it. It affects.
Do you like music?
The hippocampus of the brain.
I'll tell you what. You can take your Republic and shove it up your peace pipe, as far as you're concerned. I don't want somebody like you to be able to tell me how I have to live. I don't smoke marijuana, but this is disgusting. You defend Jeff Sessions, Elmer Fudd? I mean, for God's sakes, the man hasn't seen a government program he didn't love.
All right, I'll bring him back here. Go ahead, Keith.
To be legal?
He's still talking. What?
Yeah. Should we allow heroin to be legal?
Yes, of course. Yes. If you want to talk about,
you should have it in vending machines that'll weed out the weak.
Do you know that all drugs, heroin included? Hold on.
That's a lawless.
Do you know that all drugs, heroin included, are legal in Portugal? And Portugal actually...
For personal possession.
For personal possession and personal use. And Portugal actually saw what they had. They had an opioid problem. They saw it disappear when they made it legal because it made it... they stopped spending any money on that enforcement and started spending it as an actual health issue. And they have seen they had an opioid crisis. They've seen it disappear. It's the lowest in all of Europe.
Addiction dropped dramatically.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Hold on. So are you acknowledging that is true or not?
Are you acknowledging that or not?
Okay. I'll acknowledge those facts, and that's okay. But I don't condone it as a moral citizen.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you condone politicians being able to do whatever they want and then you and I having to follow laws, because that just makes us an ant farm.
We all have to follow the same
They don't
laws.
follow laws. I've got news for you. I mean, when Charlie Rangel doesn't do his taxes, he gets censured by the House. This is the lawmaking body of the country, and they don't do anything about
That's what draining the swamp is, trying to get rid of.
It's not going to happen, you rube. You're not that gullible. You're smarter than this.
I worked in government for almost over 10 years.
So you should know.
At a state level and a municipal level. I know for a fact that, yes, there are corrupt politicians at every level. And
How about the presidency? Is there a corrupt politician in the presidency?
Well, I'm going to say right now, President Donald Trump has never given himself over to any of the
He's a true believer.
He's a true believer.
He's a true believer. That's
He
right.
is not an Illuminati. He's not a Freemason.
now we're talking about Illuminati.
He's just a self-made billionaire who's completely avoided the Illuminati.
Into the dark arts.
The dark arts.
That's why God is using him.
God is using him.
Yeah, he is a true believer.
Are you for real? Are you for real?
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
This is a great troll. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you for the call tonight, Keith. Thank you. I appreciate it.
If God cared about you, he'd take Washington, D.C., break it off, and float it down the Potomac out into the Atlantic.
So Donald Trump is an agent of God. He's on a God-given mission to drain the swamp
of the Illuminati.
Right. And then he's going to implement Jeff Sessions, who is also the left hand of God.
God-fearing man.
God hates marijuana because it's the devil's weed, clearly, right? Because God didn't make marijuana or anything like that. That was put here by the devil. Is that? I mean, maybe I shouldn't have hung up on him because I've always wanted to know where this irrational hatred for a plant that has flowers on it comes from. Let's continue here with Patrick. He's on the line in Alabama, listening to WAVH in Mobile. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, good evening. I'd like to thank Keith for making this an extremely easy call to follow on.
All right,
that was nice, very nice.
Go for it.
I'd just like to say I think the Gallup poll may be a little bit skewed in their phrasing, I guess.
Okay.
I think American pride goes a little bit further than wearing a bikini on the 4th of July or having a big old flag in the back of your
Thank
pickup
God, because I
truck.
look awful in mine. Every year I get a little fatter.
Yeah, and the hairs stick out a little more.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. But my grandfather was a major in World War II, and I was taught as a young fellow to respect the flag. I was taught to take my hat off when the national anthem was playing. I've been to the World War II.
Were you taught to put your hand over your heart for the national anthem when you were young? Because I swear this is something that changed from the time that I was a kid.
The Pledge of Allegiance, yes.
Right, I was told to put of course, you put your hand over your heart for the pledge, but now I looked it up in U.S. code. They changed it on me sometime in the late 90s, and now you're supposed to put your hand over your heart for the national anthem too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was well out of school at that.
I know.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I always saw people. Go ahead,
American
Patrick.
Pride, I think pride goes a little bit deeper than who we elected, who we decide to agree with, who we decide to disagree with, whether weed is the devil's tool, as Keith so eloquently stated. It goes a little deeper than that. If they would ask if you had pride in your country, in such a way that, yes, I would always respect the anthem. When a plane touches down with a dead soldier, with the flag over the casket, who doesn't feel anything? So, yes.
I feel sorry for the poor bastard who lost his life for some politician. Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here for no purpose whatsoever besides the aggrandizement of the state's rulers.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. It's already been an extraordinary year for the Innocence Project and their clients. They've already freed more innocent people in the past 12 months than in any year in the history of the Innocence Project, and they're gearing up to do even more. The attorneys and paralegals for the Innocence Project Project are dedicated to doing whatever it takes to set an innocent person free. To support them, a new cohort of law students have recently joined and are excited to help with more than 200 cases of clients seeking to prove their innocence. 9 clients have been exonerated and reunited with their families in 2018 already, and your support now will help build on the incredible momentum of exonerations. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Extendivite really works. Just listen to what some people have to say.
Several years ago, I was developing a very severe situation. I called it my flippy heart. It was doing not good things, and I did not want to go to a medical doctor because I just knew they would give me a cover-up pill. I didn't want to get onto that sort of thing at all. When I learned it was garlic and cayenne is a healer. It is a wonderful herb. I said, I think I'm onto something here. I'll tell you, I wouldn't be without it. It did wonderful things for me.
Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid. Call now. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Bring up whatever you want here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Moments remain. We have enough time for you if you get on the line now. With you in the studio here tonight, it's Ian.
And Vin.
And Mark.
Don't forget, you can help support Free Talk Live by becoming a Free Talk Live amplifier. You go to amp.freetalklive.com. You'll find more about the AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And it is a way for you to get behind the show. Now, you've heard about other talk shows, and they've got their, website subscriptions.
Mickey Mouse clubs.
But most of those things, you're paying to get access to basically their website. We give you everything for free. So you get the archives, you get the video, you get everything on our site. It's all completely free. The chat rooms, all the stuff that we offer you, we give it to you up front. And so we say, hey, if you like the show and you appreciate the fact that we're on the air 7 nights a week on 190 radio stations now across the country at different times throughout the week, but 190 stations carry us. And we've, of course, got our internet listeners and our podcast and, live streaming and all these different ways, satellite channels that we're on to contribute to spreading the ideas of liberty and peace and cryptocurrency and freedom. If you want us to do that further, if you want us to hit 200 stations, which we're on the way, we can get there this year. If you want us to get to 300 stations, 400, it's possible, but it does take some effort, it does take some marketing, and it does take a little bit of money. But we're only asking for $5 a month from you, and then if other people do $5 a month, it adds up, and we can do something like advertise on the internet. We want to do Penn Jillette's show. We want to get Free Talk Live advertising on Penn's show because he's got like 400,000 internet listeners, and we've got like maybe 4,000 or something.
That's 4,000 about per show as far as the download goes.
He's got about 400,000 per show.
We've had more than 16 million downloads of our podcast over time.
I bet he gets that in a matter of a few shows.
Right. Yeah, he's certainly got a bigger name.
But it costs a lot of money to do that, and honestly, we can't afford it yet. So go to amp.freetalklive.com if you want to get behind what we're doing here. That's the best way to do it, and you'll get some perks. You'll get some special bonuses like access to the AMP-only podcast, the AMP-only chat rooms on our Discord server. There's an AMP-only Facebook group. So please go to amp.freetalklive.com, ampamp.freetalklive.com. You can use PayPal, you can use credit card, you can use Bitcoin BTC to get signed up at amp.freetalklive.com. Let's continue with your calls and thoughts. Vernon is on the line in New Orleans. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Vernon.
Hey, whenever I hear American Pride, the only thing that comes to my mind is supporters of LGBTQ causes. That's really all I think of whenever I think of American Pride.
All right.
Can I bring up? I want to switch gears a little bit. Y'all had a few days ago. Y'all had a caller call about justifying if he sees blue lights, if it's okay to take violence out on a cop. Can I comment on that real quick?
You're here. Go ahead.
All right. So so you all tried to get into this theoretical debate about if it was right or wrong. I think Ian kept pressing him for a yes or no answer, but he would not actually give a yes or no answer. He kept kind of dodging the question. Is that a fair assessment, Ian?
Well, we certainly took a stance that not acceptable, right?
Yeah, but I still, if there were any crazy people listening, I just wanted to make sure that it was known that if you do choose to commit violence against a cop, even if you feel that it's justified, you're probably going to be spending the rest of your life in jail if
you have a life. If you have a life, yeah.
Your life's likely to be very short.
And so it seemed to keep going around in circles, and it was a very intelligent conversation. But I think there may not be a lot, there may not be people at that intelligence level that might be listening that might take those ideas and go run with them or something. So I just wanted to throw that out there that the answer, in my opinion, was heck no. I do not want to spend the rest of my life in jail, even though I might feel justified to do violence against the cops.
So I think it was the Indiana Supreme Court that ruled that if a police officer was breaking the law, and then you could use deadly force against them.
Still not a very smart move if you can avoid it.
Right. I mean, the chances are whatever their story is going to be believed.
Because you're not going to be there to tell your story.
Well, there's a good chance of that.
At that point. And also, just in general, even though I believe in the right to self-defense, I believe that we're also, trying to persuade people here. Mm-hmm. And so using violence, even if it may be morally justified against police as aggressors or whatever, I don't disagree with that viewpoint. I just disagree that it's an effective viewpoint. I disagree that it's a viewpoint that's going to move forward any kind of valuable conversation or move forward the ideas of liberty, because when people use...
But he was justifying just because you see the blue lights, just because you were pulled over, just because they were actually exercising that power that they have, that you can then use deadly force against them because you feel that the state is controlling you and that kind of stuff. That's crazy.
You can do it, but you're going to be either dead or severely injured or spend the rest of your life in jail. So it's like you got to decide.
And then you'll also set back the liberty movement as well, because if it then comes out that so-and-so was a libertarian and he listened to the Free Talk Live program and, or whatever, and so-and-so was a libertarian, and then it looks bad for everybody, you're dead, so, didn't do you any good, and then the rest of us have to clean up the mess of trying to regain some level of, not looking like psychopaths in front of other people, because whether we like it or not, people will group us together, right? So if somebody is a psychopath who's also a libertarian, then all of a sudden all libertarians become like that in some people's minds. Whether we agree with people in their minds, grouping people together or not, doesn't matter. They do it. And so it's a problem.
It's very human.
Yeah. So, hey, Vernon, thanks for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. So violence is not the solution to the violence of the state. Ultimately, from a moral perspective, you're also, even though you may be justified morally, you're also, to some extent, becoming your enemy. If they are using violence, if that is their tool, if you lower yourself to their level, and I'm not saying you're going as an aggressor, but if you're lowering yourself to their level, come up with something more creative. I mean, Mark, you've talked about the book from Erica Chenoweth, I believe, that looks at violent and nonviolent resistance movements and found that nonviolent resistance was more effective and became more effective over time.
Freed India. Freed India.
So many different examples.
Civil rights movement.
Yeah. And those are the people you remember, right? Like, you remember the icons of those movements because they were well-spoken and also were able, in most cases, to continue to speak, unless, of course, the state snuffed them out anyway. But these are memorable people, whereas your typical psychopath, that goes and grabs a gun and ices some city councilors or grabs a tank and runs it through, the town hall or the police station or something like that, you may remember the incident, but how many people remember the name of the killdozer guy?
I don't remember his name now.
No. Well, and even with armed struggles like in Ireland with the IRA, probably the most impactful part of that whole thing was not the armed struggle, but it was what was going on in the prisons for the people who were arrested, the hunger strikes, teaching each other Gaelic and recapturing their language. It was actually the peaceful aspects of it that actually ended up being more impactful in terms of winning the hearts and minds rather than the bombings and the shootings and all of that.
That's just going to terrify people.
Exactly.
Because who knows when you're going to get nearby a shooting or a bombing or something like that, or your baby's going to be there.
Ultimately, it's going to happen, right? Enough bombs get set off, somebody's going to blow up a baby.
John is in New Jersey listening to WPG. Hello, John. You're in Atlantic City. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you?
We're doing a radio show. What's on your mind tonight?
Hello?
Hey, you're on the air. Can you hear us? Hello? Oh, no. I don't know what happened there. John? John in New Jersey. Going once. I'm gonna put
all right. That's what's up.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hi, we got you.
Are we here still?
I don't know who you're talking to, John. I don't know if you're talking to me.
Just go ahead and say whatever you're going to say, John. Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah, I just wanted to threw me off a little bit, but yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. My opinions are actually kind of in the same direction. I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what's going on. They have kind of like a I want to say brainwashed almost into the believing, what's on the media, and they don't really do their own research. And it's true that the things that you say, like with the drugs, along the issue of that, that's definitely a true thing that would help the country in a great way, is to legalize for personal whatever possession and stuff like that, and the money could be used elsewhere. I think that the federal government actually has way too much power. And
how do you feel about secession?
Excuse me?
How do you feel about secession? I agree with you. The federal government has too much power. How about secession as a solution to it all?
What solution? I'm very sorry.
So secession. Declaring independence from the United States. Leaving the United States.
A state leaving and becoming its own country.
I believe that it would be, I guess, a great idea if it would mean that there was not so much control from the government.
I totally agree with you. It is a great idea, and we're out of time, John. Thanks for the call tonight. Definitely something worth looking into. It's a concept whose time has come again, except this time it needs to be done peacefully, the whole secession concept. So we're out of time tonight. Check out Vin over at his website, vinarmani.com. He's got a great video show that you can watch, and there's a podcast version, I believe.
Yes.
And we'll see you tomorrow. freetalklive.com. Have a great weekend.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Questioning Authority is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, July 14th, 2018.